My head's
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless program. Excuse me, what are you doing? You got to put the mic up. You got to get ready. Welcome to the HollingsWorthless program. This will be for Wednesday, April 24th.
3rd.
Today's the 23rd. Mm-hmm. So this will be for Wednesday, the 24th, as I just said.
You know, this is the first time
I just said April
with you, and I don't know.
As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth. No cocaine this week. We have filling in Jack Galvin. Here's Jackie. Jack Galvin. We are recording this. I was going to say, well, you do record it live. I was going to say, do you say you're recording live?
Yeah, I mean,
you're not viewing it live, but it's recorded live.
Yeah.
But isn't everything recorded live?
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to sit down and cut it up like crazy, are you? You're pretty just going to show the product.
I don't edit anything unless you say something racist.
Well, then we're not going to edit anything. So
we are currently in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. We've been up here in Canada now for a week and 2 days.
Yeah.
Or wait.
Yeah, we got no in Canada or just on our trip.
Canada.
No, we got here in Canada on Friday.
So a week and what? 3? Wait.
Not even a week. Just like 5 days.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
But we were in Washington.
That's right. Yeah. So we drove. So we left Burbank
on Tuesday.
Tuesday at like
11.
Last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday at like 11.
Jesus. At 11. And then we drove till we got to, what was it? What city did we crash? Bend, Oregon?
I'm not 100% sure. I know we stopped at a place.
Shasta. We stopped at Shasta.
I know we stopped at a hotel and a diner that was very scary.
Yeah, so we stopped in, I don't think it was Lake Shasta. I don't even know if Lake Shasta is in Oregon.
It was very close to Washington. I know that because there were cars there with Washington plates around us. But it was
no, we were still a ways from Washington.
Were we?
Yeah, because remember the next day we went to the teriyaki joint in Portland.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
So we stopped. We spent the night. I think it was Bend, Oregon. I'm not sure though. But we stopped in Shasta, and this place was terrifying. It looked like the beginning of like World War Z, where the zombies are going to attack. It looked like where Jason Voorhees murders people.
It was scary. It was scary.
Yeah. So we go to the hotel. The hotel or the motel. Motel doesn't even have. You pull up to it and it says check in at the 24-hour restaurant diner.
Yeah.
And you walk into the diner and again it's like you're in the Twilight Zone because it looks like it's straight from the 50s.
Oh, 100. But the people were very polite.
Oh yeah.
But they were like, "You looking for your buddy? He's a big guy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I came in after you.
Yeah.
And then you didn't come out for a while, and I was nervous.
I was shitting.
I know, but I you know, it's the first trip. I haven't been around you shitting a lot, so I was like, am I next?
Jack, you know I shit.
But you're usually pretty quick.
Everybody knows I shit.
You're usually pretty quick about it, though.
That's true. I usually am a power shitter. You and Kane both take long shits. Kane takes a half-hour shit.
It's my...
quiet time?
It's my... I call it Tinker Stinker Time, which is from a TV show that I love to watch. But I like to sit there and just... It's my quiet time. You don't have kids. Bathroom is where
This is your what?
Tinker Stinker Time, which is from a TV show, the one with the fantasy football TV show. I can't think of the name of it. But I stole it from there.
Yeah.
But
The League,
yeah. And as a parent, you're not a parent. Bathroom time is very quiet, good alone time.
Yeah.
So I take advantage of it, and I can't just break the habit.
I know. It's like we'll be somewhere and Jack will be having Tinker Stinker Time. Ugh. And it'll be like 20 minutes and I got to piss and I'm like, hey, you still shitting? And he'll be like, oh yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah. And then, but you're out immediately.
Yeah.
How do your legs not go numb?
Oh, they do.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah. My legs, sometimes if I'm like this, my arms will go a little numb too.
You're gonna have a stroke and not know it. Like, is it just Tinker Stinker Time? Oh God, I hate saying it. Oh, so let's back up though. So before we even got into, or no, we're going on the right timeline. So we crashed there. Then we got into Portland the next day and on our way north. And I was telling you that I'm like, if you're hungry, it's a little bit off our route, but I'll take you to the best teriyaki joint in Oregon.
Oh, I mean, you driving up into the parking lot, which is like 3 spots.
Yeah.
It was rough looking, and I was worried. And then I literally had maybe the best teriyaki chicken plate I've ever had. And
Du's Teriyaki, DU''S, Du's Teriyaki on Sandy Boulevard, Portland, Oregon.
It's so good that I watched him eat vegetables for the first time there because he liked the salad, which was insane.
I usually don't get salad with my teriyaki, but their dressing and everything, it mixes.
It was insane.
And everybody there was talking at like 1,000 decibels for some reason.
Yeah, it was like you on 5 Hour Energy. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. So we left Du's and we kept heading up north. And did we do the same day? Yeah, we got up there to do the show. That the same day we got in, we did the show, right? Yeah. We did the dope show.
Yeah, because that was Wednesday, because then Thursday was a whole day by ourselves. Yeah, so Wednesday we got right there, went to the house,
So we got with Tyler Smith, who been on the podcast multiple times, runs the great Dope Show, was doing a Dope Show at J&M's in J&M's Cafe downtown Seattle. So we got to Tyler's place, took our stuff out, chilled there for about an hour with his buddy Justin, and then we went to go do the Dope Show, which I've done a few times. You've never done before.
I've watched it but never done it. Yeah,
right. And it was me, you, Hans, Kim, and then Tyler, of course, hosting it. Jack, you had at the time you hadn't smoked for a while, right?
I mean, it's been a couple of days, but that's a lot for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hardly ever smoke, which we'll get into why. So we all go up. We do for those that don't know, the way the Dope Show works is you go up as a comic. You go up. You do a set, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. Then you get off stage. As soon as you get off stage, you start smoking weed and you get high as balls. So for me, it takes like 3 puffs, and Tyler will adjust the intake of weed
for sure
for who you are. Like if you're a veteran weed smoker, then he'll have you doing dabs and all this other stuff I don't know. But me, I just took 3 hard puffs off of a joint and I was fucking gone. And you said you were actually high as balls.
I sat in there with Hans and we smoked a couple blunts and got, wrecked.
Is that the most high you've been in a while?
I mean, I wouldn't say probably in a while, yeah. It's not the most high I've ever been, but in a while, yes. But here's the thing for me is I've never been on stage high.
Right.
So that's what I was nervous about. Because I smoked weed 18 years, almost every day that I can. So I was a little worried about maybe not being as high as I thought it would be because I'd never tried it on stage. Oh, man, I was ridiculous. It was bad.
And so Hans goes up, does his thing. Did Hans go up before you?
No, I was the first high person.
Oh, Jack goes up, and I think like about maybe 3/4 through your set, you just started like fucking riffing, right?
That's all. I mean, that's pretty much all I did. I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't think of material. I mean, I think the first thing I said on stage was, "I wish there was a stool," because I've never used a stool on stage before, but I'm pretty sure I would sit down right now. And there was no stool. And then Tyler got me one. And I'm pretty sure after that I said, like, I'm not going to pee myself, but I feel like I could.
What the fuck?
Because I was nervous. It was the most nervous I've ever been on stage in a long time.
Yeah, so he did his thing great. Hans does his thing great. I go up and do my thing, and I was high as balls.
It was great.
And Tyler was happy with it. Then we went to Beth's Cafe.
Oh, man.
In Seattle, right off Aurora. I think it's Aurora. And Beth's Cafe is this diner that the walls are decorated with drawings and colorings, like kids' colorings and stuff.
Yeah, like coloring
all over the
pictures,
place that fall off as you're eating.
Like 15 of them fell off.
And I don't get, like, I would probably smoke weed more often if I could just smoke weed. But what happens, as Jack knows, when I smoke weed, like everybody goes, oh yeah, I get the munchies. I'm on a different level.
Yes.
Right? Agreed.
100%.
I will, like, once I get high, I cannot stop eating until I go to bed. To the point where, like, I'll know I'm high and I'm like, oh man, my stomach really hurts, but keep going. I just need that in my fucking mouth. Like when I've stayed with Jack in Arizona.
Oh yeah, let me tell this story because this is freaking hilarious.
Oh man,
because you were out later than me.
Yeah.
And then I went to bed early, and I woke up and I went outside.
Now we had
get something from my car.
Before you tell that story, we got high once before, me, you, and Phil.
Yes.
And then you saw it.
Then I saw it there too.
But this was okay. Go on.
But this was just funny because you know, I go downstairs. I go out to the driveway to get something out of my car. Okay, and I don't know if everybody on this is old enough to have seen E.T., but you know how E.T. follows the Reese's Pieces.
Yes.
You know, well, that's what I did going back into the house. I followed the wrappers all the way back from the. I don't know how they got outside.
Dude.
Like you must have got hot from eating so fast that you went outside to cool down or something. And I followed him into the living room, and it was just a sea of wrappers inside the cushions, everywhere.
It was
and
embarrassing.
I mean, we had to make a Costco run.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad.
And I'm with you a lot, so I know that's not your typical way you do things.
Dude, and it's just when I'm high, I can't stop eating. And so when we went to Beth's, I had a huge breakfast. I had a peanut butter shake, and I remember being at Tyler's high as balls and like in pain, like, oh God, like I wanted to throw up to get the poison out.
You ate a lot, but granted, you didn't. We ate that teriyaki chicken, and we didn't eat after that, so it wasn't like you were pounding all day long. But
Dude,
you definitely
it was
ate a lot.
Yeah. And then the day after that, which was Thursday, we were like, okay, we're gonna do nothing. We drove the last 2 days to try and make sure we got here on time. So we're gonna start our Game of Thrones mission. So while we're on this trip, Jack and I, we ahead of time, because neither one of us had seen Game of Thrones, so we're like, all right, we're on this Canada tour trip, whatever you want to say, for 3 weeks. Our goal is we're going to finish Game of Thrones. We're going to watch Game of Thrones and get caught up to current time.
Yeah.
So did we watch all of season 1?
Yes, all of season 1.
We watched all of season 1 that
in
Thursday.
1 day. Yeah.
In 1 day. And Tyler and Justin watched it with us. And so we were like, all right, we're in. So then Friday comes, and we have a show that night at Sonar Comedy Club in Prince George, it was like ended up being like 11 or 12 hours drive, was it?
It was like 10.
Okay.
It took us like 11, but we stopped for lunch, stuff like that. So it was 11, 12-hour total, yeah.
Yeah, so we did that in a day. Keep in mind, when I say we, most of the time Jack's driving. It's like a 75% to 25% ratio of Jack driving my car, but Jack's driving. So we got to Sonar, we got to Prince George, British Columbia. Beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Dude, the drive is insane.
Yeah, and like we stopped. It's crazy because we stopped in Hope on the way up there and just randomly stopped there on the way back. And found out from our buddy Dwayne. Well, my buddy, I don't think you know Dwayne. Dwayne Goad. I did a live video from Hope that I was like, this is unbelievable to just show people. Dwayne hops on the live feed and he's like, I'm from there, and that's where they filmed Rambo, First Blood.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
He's like, they'll do a tour and all that. So, anyways, we get up all the way up though to Prince George. We check into our hotel. And we do the first night. It's 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. First night did both shows light. They're both light.
Very light rooms. Great crowds, though.
Yes. Really good crowds. And the guy that runs it, he's great. And then Saturday, first show light. Second show was the most packed. It was good. And again, both crowds were great. And I forget which show. One of the shows, I started off, like, it's interesting because most clubs will give you a light. Like there'll either be a light that they turn on in the back that you can see to let you know, wrap it up, or you have 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whenever you want your light to let you know where you're on. This place actually has, if people on the camera, like if you're looking at us where the stage is, you can look above the crowd in the back, and there's a timer clocking down
like a nice one.
Yeah, clocking down your time. So I didn't like it. I don't like it because it'll start with me. It'll say 45 minutes, and then when it gets to 0, it just starts blinking.
That's what I didn't like. I didn't like the blinking at the end. It was very distracting because I knew you were going to go over each time. Yeah, because there was time for you to go over. And
I didn't like. It's weird. I like more just. I'm in my thing. I do my thing, and you just let me know when you 5 minutes or whatever, so I don't think about it. But I caught myself kept looking up, and in my head I was like, wow, this is shit. I've only done 5 minutes so far. Or the flip of that, one of the shows I started off just doing crowd work, and then I was like, holy shit, 10 minutes is gone. Yeah. And all I've done only crowd work. I haven't told any jokes.
I know, right?
But that was good. So then we left Prince George on Sunday.
Well, can I say one more thing about Prince George real quick? I referenced every time, because coming from Boston, which is, my first time in Boston, I heard about people being aggressive and the language and the attitudes and me being not very, a manly guy. I don't like confrontation. Going to Canada where all you hear is, oh man, people are great. They're so nice.
Apologize.
And I would start off every set with going, I'm so excited to be in Canada. Everybody's so nice here, so friendly. It's so safe. And after the third show, I go outside to have smoke my jewel with some of the people that are at the show, and they're like, "Hey, just so you know, Prince George is like one of the most dangerous places in Canada." They're like, "I wouldn't recommend walking down the street at night." I mean, we were literally in a 7-Eleven and it got robbed by people, not by gunpoint or anything, but just people just stealing stuff.
Yeah, so we're in a 7-Eleven. We had gone to it the night before, no problem. We're in it this time, and there's a bunch of, I don't know if they're homeless people or what, out in front. And I'm walking down an aisle. There's a lady in front of me with her head down on her phone, and in front of her is another dude, I guess her crony. She wasn't paying attention. She's just looking on her phone, and he just knows she's behind him. He didn't know I was, so I'm just watching him, and he just puts shit in his pocket and then looks back and was like, oh, and I was just like, all right, whatever. Then one person was, the way that the counter was, there was like candy, jars of candy by the register, which was about 4 feet from the door.
Yeah.
And people would just open the door, walk in and grab it and then run back out. But they didn't even like run. They just went out.
They laughed to the window.
Yeah. And so there was a dude with tats on his face, this white dude with his hair slicked back and all tatted up and silver teeth and all this shit. And I'm just like, whatever, dude. Just
I was nervous.
Yeah, Jack's out waiting for me out by the car. Somebody comes in and goes, that car's from California. It's got California plates. And I was like, yeah.
And I was like, Jay, get the hell out of here and open the door. Something's like, get in.
Yeah, and then we're going back to our hotel, and this fucking dummy's just in the middle of the street on their bike, like sideways, not doing anything. So I came like an inch from hitting them, and I was just leaning on my horn.
Oh, and she didn't.
I wanted to
she cared not at all.
I wanted to just bump her, turn her into a speed bump. But anyways, but it was a great weekend. So
it was a great weekend. That didn't make it not good.
Yeah, and then Sunday we came here. Now where we're at now in Burnaby, British Columbia, and we're in a Airbnb that's fucking sick.
Yeah, and if you don't know where Burnaby is, it is right in Vancouver-ish.
It's like the east side. Yeah.
Yeah. So people know. I wouldn't know where Burnaby is if someone told me.
Yeah. Would you know Vancouver?
I wouldn't know Vancouver, yeah, because I think that's a more because you lived up in Washington, so you might know it. But I've never really been to Washington except when I was a little kid. So Arizona, I have no clue what Burnaby is.
And this Airbnb, it's like a kind of a studio, but it's the view is sick.
12th floor, yeah, it's pretty cool.
And we got a washer and dryer in here, which is great. So we've been here since Sunday. What's today? Today's Tuesday.
Yeah. We're here till Friday
and
in this place.
Yeah, and then we're at New Westminster. We're at the Laugh Lines at New Westminster Friday and Saturday. Then we head over to Edmonton. But since we've been here, we wanted. I don't know what we've been craving Chinese food.
I think it's our favorite thing,
dude. In Boston, we had the best. Well, in Worcester, the best Chinese joint, which is across the park from the Wuhaha. But everything here has fucking MSG. Every Chinese restaurant everything has MSG, and I can't do MSG. So last night we went to like 3 or 4 different Chinese joints trying to find it, and all of them had MSG except for Kung Fu Noodles, which just didn't have anything I was interested in.
Yeah.
And then
I had to help you out there too. I had to help you talk to the lady because she's like, "What about this?" And I'm like, "He's not gonna like that." I felt like such a dad.
No, it's all right. Dude, and then the other thing we got a check from the place in Prince George that is from a credit union that's like only in Prince George.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're gonna pay people out at a club, you need to use a bank that is gonna be easier to be seen to cash your check, especially if these people are from out of town. And he knew that we were gonna be here longer than we're not just going right back home. And it's not his fault. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna pay people with a check, you should do it with a bank that you can't just go to in that little town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we leave Sunday and they were closed Monday because of Easter. So yeah, it's I don't know. But back to the Chinese place. So every place we call, we're like, "Do you use MSG?" And they're like, "Yes, yes," or they say it. So we finally found a place today. We're like, "Yes, We found our
And it was
Chinese
voted like
joint.
one of the best.
Jack's like, I've checked, and he did. Jack's like, I called. I was like, any MSG? And we were like, no. If you say no MSG, we won't. It's made to, made to order. They
Made
said?
to order. It's added. MSG
Yeah.
is just added.
Yeah. So you tell us no MSG, no MSG. Great. We go there. They're a little rude as we get in there. The little fucking guy's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
But we get in there and we order, and so we're like, hey, let's get some pork pot stickers, and I get the pork whatever, sweet and sour, whatever.
It looked amazing.
All of the shit looked good, yeah.
amazing.
And we're sitting in there waiting. We're seeing the orders come out. It looks fucking great. And as we order, of course, I say no MSG. Okay, no MSG. The pot stickers come out, and I say to Jack, I go, I'm going to ask again, and watch, this guy's going to get pissed, but I'm just going to ask again just to make sure. Lady brings out the pot stickers, and all I say is no MSG, and she goes, oh, well, there's MSG in the pork.
Already.
Yeah, there's already. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, well, I also ordered a pork dish, and she's like, oh yeah, it's already in there. And so I'm just like, and Jack's like fucking salivating. It looks so good.
We're both so hungry.
Yeah, we're
too.
starving. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. So we stand up. Jack says to the waiter, I don't know what you said because I walked out because I was so fucking annoyed.
He actually sounded like the guy I talked to, weirdly
Probably
enough.
was.
And I said, I called, and you said everything's made to order, and if we don't want MSG, there's no MSG. And he goes, oh, but it has a little bit in it. And I was like, he could die. He's allergic.
Yeah.
And then he looked at us like, why are we leaving?
Yeah.
He looked at me like, I can't believe you're gonna leave now. Like your food's about to come out.
Oh, I was happy to do that.
I can't kill my buddy. Like,
I was
don't know what
so
you want
happy
me
to
do.
fucking. I should have just waited till it all came out and then just been like, does this have MSG? Cool. Goodbye. And then just fucking walked out of this whole table full of food. I was so fucking annoying.
And this day has been a rough day for us with food because we had also another bad incident this morning as well.
Oh, dude. So in Prince George, we discovered this place called the White Spot, and I guess it's like a Denny's type.
It's like a Denny's, yeah,
chain
for sure.
place up in Prince George. Fucking perfect.
Oh.
Like we get breakfast there. Everything's perfect. We get down here. Oh, there's a White Spot. Let's go to the White Spot. The first time we go there, Jack opens his napkin and there's fucking blood on it. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of gross. I open mine, blood on that one too. So we're like, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. So they bring the shit. They bring us new silverware, and we're like, okay. And we're like, we always ask crispy bacon, so they bring a bacon that's fucking raw practically.
And it says crispy bacon. It doesn't even say bacon on the thing. It says crispy bacon in the menu.
So and Jack won't ever send anything back. I have no problem.
Yeah, well, we sent our bacon back. He sent his bacon back, and the guy looked at mine and took mine too.
Yeah,
and
today.
I would have ate it.
Yeah,
because I just would have ate it. Because
Yeah.
I like crispy bacon, but I will also.
I'm trying to get Jack to speak up on
less
this
crispy
trip.
bacon, and so he takes all of our bacon and then brings it back all together on one plate. And Jay goes, "You gonna eat your bacon?" I'm like, "I told you I don't eat things that are sent back and then come back."
What? And tell why you don't.
My dad just always told me you don't shit where you eat, and people, you don't ever know who's had a bad day, who's handling your food. You never know what they're gonna do and what they're gonna make mad.
Well, what if as the customer, I've had a fucking bad day, and all I fucking want
is bacon,
fucking crispy bacon. How about my fucking bad
They probably
day?
did nothing to it, but I just set in my ways. So I
Jack's a very nice guy, and he has a problem sticking up for himself or speaking up, right?
No. I don't have a problem speaking up for myself because if I speak up, but if I speak. Okay, sometimes I do, but when it comes to food, my theory is, no matter if I speak up about it or not, if it goes back, I'm not going to eat it. That has nothing to do with me sticking up for myself. That means once the food goes back into the kitchen to be redone, I just don't want to eat it after that because because my dad freaked me out.
But so you will just take something wrong?
I have.
What if they bring you an order that? Let's say you order a burger and fries, and they bring you fish tacos and chips. Do you just eat it?
So I've never had.
This scenario.
No.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Here you go, sir. Here's your fish taco and chips. What do you do?
I mean, I don't eat it because I can't eat fish. I'm allergic.
Okay, so what do you do?
I say, hey, man, you brought me the wrong thing. And he might be like, oh, my bad. I totally did bring you the wrong thing. And then I probably go, it's cool. We're going to go somewhere else. I've had this happen. I've had this happen.
Fucking wait, hold on.
What?
You wouldn't be like, hey, you fucked my order up. Can you give me the right order?
No, I'd be like, just take the money off. I don't want to pay for it. You know what I mean? That's about it.
Oh, Jack. Okay, what happened though?
I mean, I've literally had meals like where I order a burger or something, and I don't really like my burger like really red at all, so I usually get it like well done, you know, or at least medium well, like maybe a little pink. But if it comes back rare or like real red, I won't be like, hey, can you put this back on the grill for a little bit or bring around another one? I just won't eat.
That's fucked.
And if
Why?
and then I'll just be like, and they'll be like, what's wrong with your meal? And I'll be like, I just didn't. It's just, you know. And if they don't,
Hey, wait, no, you'll say what? They go, what's wrong with your meal?
I go, it's just too red. And they'll be like, oh, I'll make it free again. I'm like, nah, it's cool. And then sometimes they'll be like, I mean, unfortunately, you're right. I'm kind of a bitch. I will sometimes I'll still pay for it.
Oh, fuck all that.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know.
No, I mean, you're just a nice guy. By the way, why are you showing leg on the fucking podcast, bro?
I don't know.
What the fucking... This isn't helping your man card. You have your legs crossed, and you're showing your leg.
My calves are my best thing.
Yeah, you're like fucking swinging it.
So
like
what?
That.
What is he?
As you were showing your leg.
It's 2 a.m. I don't know. This is me in a nutshell. What do you want me to be?
It's just like people. I didn't notice when you pulled it up. I just looked over. I was like, "Why is Jack's leg out?" Fucking, you trying to get some viewership up? You're like, "Hey, ladies, little eye candy or fellas, whatever."
Don't be mad because I can cross my legs like this and you can't.
I have balls and a dick. I can't fucking. I don't ever understand how anybody can do that because as soon as dude, it just doesn't crush your dick.
I like push it up here.
Your balls are. It makes a little cup for your balls.
Yeah, like they're not. I'm not squishing them right now. I usually go like. I usually have to go like that, and then you're good. I prefer to sit like this than this. This like kind of is like, I don't know, hurts my back sometimes, so I sit like this and I just feel comfortable. I don't know.
Like I'll do like this with the foot, but and this is fine. But dude, oh god, my dick. My dick and balls.
Good for you.
Another fucking drama that we had to. Well, you heard it, but so because we have these checks that we're trying to figure out how the fuck do we get them cashed here in Canada. Can we get them cashed here in Canada and then take the cash and go to America? Can we get them cashed here in Canada and get U.S. dollars? Which all of those answers are no. We can't because it has to be at this fucking Integris Credit Union, which is up in Prince George, and no banks down here will cash it because we don't have an account there and the check's not from that account. So I'm like, okay, I'm a member of Boeing Credit Union and Bank of America, so maybe we could drive down to Seattle, or I called Bank of America. I'm like, what can we do? And the lady goes, and I called him a few times, and I got information from the first time. Are you on your phone? What the fuck are you doing? What is this? What are you looking at?
Very important person.
What are you fucking looking at?
A very important person.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
So I had called Bank of America once. I call them again today. I say to the lady, I'm like, what do we do? What can I do? And she goes, oh, you can deposit it through the ATM, she says at first. I'm like, oh, really? You sure? Because I'm in Canada. And so you're saying, well, no, first she said the app. She's like, yeah, you can just use the mobile banking app. And I'm like, okay, I'm in fucking Canada and I can take a picture of this Canadian account and it'll just work. Oh, yeah, well, let me check. 10 minutes go by. Oh, no, you can't do that. But you can just go to an ATM and deposit it at the ATM. So I'm like, okay, so I can just go right over the border and just an ATM, a Bank of America ATM, and deposit. Yeah. I go, are you sure? Because I remember a long time ago when I did a Canadian check, I had to do like an international deposit slip. Oh, let me check. 10 minutes go by. Oh, no, you can't do that. Fucking great. Okay, what else should I check on? And then so she's like, then she was like, yeah, on the check, does it say it's for US dollars? And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. And she's like, does it say $8 on there? I'm like, the check printing says, it has pay to the order, a blank line, the dollar amount you put, and then on the end it says dollars. Okay, well then that'll be in US dollars. I'm like, it's a fucking Canadian account. So I eventually, Jack heard me. I'm on the phone with her. She's like, so is there anything? I go, you know what? I think I'm more confused now than I was before. And she's like, oh, well, how can I help? I go, well, I pretty much am like telling you to do your job.
How to do your job.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, I know your job better than you pretty much.
Yeah. Because I'm like, first you told me I could deposit it through the app. I can't. Then you said I could just do it through the ATM. I asked you to check on that. I can't do that. And now you're telling me this other stuff. I go, I'll just call back and I'll talk to somebody else. I got to go. It's so fucking infuriating. Yeah. Customer service drives me nuts because I worked in customer service.
I feel like there's been so many calls about these checks.
Oh, yeah.
You've made. Like, it's taken hours out of your day.
Oh, yeah. I've called casinos because somebody told us you could cash it at a casino. Nope. Yeah. It has to be. Yeah, and
they're like, any check you can cash at a casino. Nope.
I did find out there's like a check mart or check cashing place, but it's like fucking $75 they want and like all this other shit. So I think we're just going to go to the U.S. tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's only like an hour.
Oh, and the update on Game of Thrones. So we just finished season 2. We're fucking flying through these.
But that has also been a challenge in Canada for us to watch Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. We have to. So I have an Amazon stick that whenever we go on the road, I take it with us, and it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I ordered HBO Now. Oh, what I love is they let you fucking order it and pay for it, and then as soon as you hit play, it goes, "Oh no, that's not available in Canada."
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I figured out is that because I downloaded the app when we were still in Washington to prepare for the trip. When we got to the hotel, you hooked up your Fire Stick, and I believe you. I don't know how you purchased the app, but when you're using Canadian internet Wi-Fi, it wouldn't let you play it. So when I had HBO Go on my phone, I could watch Game of Thrones on my phone as long as I was using T-Mobile internet service without the Wi-Fi.
Well, you're actually using. It's not T-Mobile. You're using the Canadian.
I understand that, but it still let me play it on my phone.
Does it still do it now?
So, yeah, no. But not when I'm using the Wi-Fi. Once I connected to the Wi-Fi at the hotel, then it said the same thing that was coming up on yours.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, but Jay is the master and figured it out and downloaded every freaking season.
Well, no, I didn't. That's just where we figured out a way to get HBO Now working now.
What? You can't? You can download, can't you?
No, you can't. So that's why I would never download it illegally. So we're just getting it through HBO Now. It ended up working.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, who's gonna come after us?
Oh God. But anyways, we're through season 2 now. We're about to start season 3. Oh man, this guy fucking. And it's yeah. So the thing I'm taking away from I'm like. I tried to watch Game of Thrones once before, and I think I watched 2 episodes, and I was like, this shit's boring. I'm totally in now. I get it. I'm on board to fucking get through all these and get current with everybody else. Too many fucking names to remember.
And they're difficult names, too, a lot of them.
The names, and then also make people look different. All these white people look the same. Everybody's got a fucking beard and like a Caesar's cut.
And like my hair, but a little bit longer.
And the people that don't, like Jon Snow, the guy with the burnt face. He's got a marker on him. What is it, the Hound? Is that the Hound?
Yeah, well, yeah, because no, the dog.
The dog, yeah, he's unique. You know who? Khaleesi. You remember Khaleesi? She's
white
blonde.
Hair.
Yeah. So and Drogo, I know Drogo because he's different looking than all these fucking white people. Yeah, Joffrey, that cunt. Oh fuck, I want to murder that kid. That guy has such a punchable face. I love him in the sense that he's such a cunt.
I wish you have seen Harry Potter because he reminds me of the bad kid in that Draco Malfoy, the blonde hair, the attitude, the fucking bitch face.
And you know that dude's Irish? Joffrey is. I just watched the video of like the actors, their accents on the show, and then their real accents.
Really?
He's from Ireland, and that's
how
why I was
do you become such a good actor? It's so young like that. It's insane.
And then and I totally get now why everybody always talks up Peter Dinklage. He's fucking great.
And the other guy who's like his the gold
Bran?
Gold robe or whatever.
Yeah, Bran or Braun.
He's awesome too.
Yeah,
such a good show.
I'm totally on board for the show now, and I'm excited for this season because Although I've never watched Game of Thrones, like I know of like certain things that have happened because people always freak out. And I told him there's something major that happens this season.
Well, there's so many things that I find out about because of people like Lucas Seeley.
Yeah, Lucas, you
constantly
fuck.
posting fucking.
Quit posting shit about season
Facebook. 8. I love you, Lucas, but geez, Louise, I'm trying to watch this thing. It's just a little bloody.
Yeah, Jack has a thing with scary movies and gore.
Not so much scary, just gore. Really, I can watch scary movies that when we watched
Hereditary is not really gory,
and I watched everything except for the gore though. Like when
dude, the fucking lady on the wall.
But
the
there was a lot
fucking
of
boom
gore.
boom. Oh, dude, Hereditary.
But her
is
neck
crazy.
was like moving, and that's like I know that's not gore, but that's still like kind of in the same.
It's
realm
interesting,
of gore.
like it's just any gore trips you out. It's not like it's gore related to horror movies.
No, yeah, it doesn't have to be horror. It can be like this.
Are you like the sight of blood grosses you out in real life?
Weirdly, this is really weird. In life, it doesn't bother me as much. I mean, I literally trained to be a paramedic firefighter. Like I went to school to EMT.
So why do you think that is?
Ride-alongs, and I think it's more of I don't like seeing people get hurt. Like I could watch the battles they have. If they just walked by, like the guy with the guts when they walked by him, they were just hanging out. I could watch that. I just don't want to watch him getting gutted. Does that make?
It's all just make believe.
I understand that, but I don't like seeing people get hurt. I can see the aftermath. Like
Too sweet.
I could drive by a wreck and see someone outside. Obviously, it sucks and we're hurt, and I feel terrible for those people.
And it's causing you to traffic.
But it would be crazier and be worse for me to see the accident actually happen. Does that make sense?
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I like real life shit I can't handle. Like I remember one time I don't know who sent me the video, and I don't know what I've like what's it, Bud Dwyer. You know about that?
No.
There's like this congressman that he. I forget what city. I don't know if it was Chicago or what. What are you looking for? Your jewel? It's under your asshole. There you go. It's smoke just starts coming out of your asshole. You somehow smoke it that way. Like a nice bar trick. I think his name's Bud Dwyer, and I forget what he was, but it was something to do with like he was a congressman or something, and he went to do a speech. It's televised. They have a TV, and he has like what are those manila folders like type thing, or like the a folder that you put shit in. Yeah. And he pulls out a fucking I think it's like a 357 huge gun, and everybody's like, and he starts kind of waiting. He's like, hold on, relax. He's like, I don't want to hurt anybody, blah, blah, blah. And then like people are like freaking, he goes, oh, I'm sorry. And then just fucking boom, blows his head off. I mean, he fires it, falls down, and this is all being filmed, falls down, and then blood just starts pouring out. Like that shit, and then I could see the. You could watch that?
No. I could.
Afterwards,
once he's on the ground, I could see the blood and I'd be fine. But him actually doing it and killing himself, I couldn't watch that. That's too hard.
There's been like a few videos I've seen that are like just. That's one. I think I saw Saddam Hussein. Like, did he get hung or decapitated or something? I think I saw, or was it? I think so. I think I saw that one. But the one I had nightmares about for a while. There was these two Mexican dudes that were like caught by a drug cartel, and they were shoulder to shoulder, hands behind their back, just leaning next to each other. And this guy's like talking to the camera. Like the guys are like on the ground, shoulder to shoulder, tied up, hands behind their back. This guy's standing, talking. He's like, blah, 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 whatever in Spanish. And then as he's talking, he's like, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden you hear, like a fucking, what's it called?
Chainsaw.
Yes, chainsaw. So he fucking starts cutting through the first dude's neck. And as it goes through so they're shoulder to shoulder. As it goes through the first guy's neck, like there's like there's resistance, but then it gets through, and like the guy kind of like goes through too much, and it goes into the guy's arm next to him. Uh-huh. And all I remember is the guy who the chainsaw just went into his arm for a second, and they pulled it out because they're gonna probably cut his head off too. But when it went into his arm, the guy did not react at all, and I always just remember that guy going through his head, just knowing like, I'm about to die. This is nothing.
Who cares?
Dude, I was just like, fuck. And I remember I remember right after I watched that, I was like, why did I watch this?
What were those before?
Faces of Death?
Yeah, before there was internet and all that stuff. I couldn't watch them. All my buddies would watch them. We'd because I was like probably around my early 20s, and we'd have parties, and my buddies would always be over, and they'd drinking and hanging out and smoking and stuff, and they'd be like, let's put on Faces of Death, and I'd be like, I'm going to go in my room, you know?
There's fake, there's some of them were fake in there, and then some were real. Like, I remember one, there was like, I think it was in like Africa or something.
What do you mean fake? Like reenactments?
Well, like there's one that supposedly is like footage of you're going into like a hostage situation, but it's cutting to different camera angles.
Gotcha.
The monkey brains one, that was fake.
Okay.
But there was one like, I think it was in Africa, like there was like a civil war, or people warring, and like some guy had like been beaten and he's on the ground, and somebody runs by and just literally throws a spear and it sticks in the dude. And I was like, oh God, that one was brutal. I think I saw like somebody on fire on one of them. I saw it when I was a kid. But here's a funny story related to Faces of Death. What's wrong?
I was ready to hear it.
Oh, well, no. So I have the video. I'll show you the video. Maybe I'll put it on the end of this. I don't know if I can. I'll link it in the comments if this video records properly, like unlike the other last few ones. But I have a video of, I think it was in 2012. I was doing a show at the Underground, and it was Christmas time. And this is all true. So I went up on stage and I talked about like me and my dad. I say on stage, which is true, that me and my dad don't really do gifts for Christmas. Well, this Christmas, I was like, let me show you what my dad got me for Christmas. So I bring up my dad every Christmas would just, you could tell which gifts under the tree were my dad's, because they'd be in like a Fred Meyer's bag, and it was just stapled, a brown bag just stapled, and then he'd fucking stick a ribbon on it. And that was my dad's fucking wrapping. So I have this bag that my dad gave me that's all fucking ripped. And what my dad gave me, this is all true, he gave me for Christmas, two videos of Faces of Death, 1 and 2, opened.
So you watched them first.
Yeah, and 100%. And you know the reason why I know 100% that he watched them is because previously, like 2 or 3 months before Christmas, he's like, hey, you remember those Faces of Death? I was like, yeah. He goes, what do you think? You think I can get those somewhere? I don't know. He's like, he wanted to watch them, so he ordered them, watched them, and then re-gifted them to me.
100%.
And then also in the bag was a fucking like a 2XL Obama change shirt.
Really?
I don't wear a 2XL.
No.
And
I do.
And it was a piece of shit shirt. It was like a shirt that I'm sure he wanted a bar at like a pool tabs thing. But that was my dad's Christmas fucking gift. One of the things I'm happiest about, when we were at up in Prince George, I told a story / joke about my dad that I've told a couple times on stage, and it never really got a good reaction. It just kind of died. But in Prince George, it did great.
Did great.
Which is, I said the story about, I was growing up. My pops, he's like, hey, growing up, did you ever wish you had like any siblings? And I was like, I thought it'd be cool to have like an older brother or maybe a little brother. That'd be pretty cool. He goes, okay, well, you have a sister. She's 21. I just met her. And Prince George, they fucking got it immediately. I don't know why, for whatever reason, jokes don't work sometimes. But
yeah, no, they got it right. I mean, they got it right. There wasn't even any lag. They got it right away. I haven't had the privilege of meeting this man. But
you heard him.
I did get the privilege of you talking to him on the phone, seeing if he wanted you to stop by and say hello. And he was like, "Nah, just listening to your voice is good enough."
Yeah. And what's funny is, so Kane's met my dad and knows him, and it's like a running joke at this point. Like last year when I did Harvey's in Portland, where my dad lives in Portland, I call up my pops. Hey, Dad, and I'm not even saying we're going to stay with him. I'm like, hey, Pops, I'm in Portland. I'm headlining Harvey's. Going to be there all weekend. You should come out to a show. Yeah, I don't know. I got a card game. And I'm like...
Yeah, it was a card game this time, too.
I'm like, Dad, I'm fucking in the town. I hardly ever see you. Just fucking come to a show. Like, I had to fucking convince him, so he finally came to a show, which was great. Last time I was coming up with... who was I? I forget who I was coming up, but we were going through... Portland, and maybe it was with Peter Sayers, but I think I was going to Joker's, but hey, Pops, we're coming up. Can we crash at your place? I don't know. I'm like, we'll just go in there. We'll crash, sleep on the floor, whatever. We just need to play. I don't know. What time you think? And I was like, I don't know. We'll be there like maybe 11 p.m., midnight. And then he calls me like an hour later. Why don't you just get a hotel? I'm like, the whole fucking point is so we don't have to pay for a hotel. And I just got so annoyed. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So when I called, he was like...
you said it. You literally were like, I'm calling my dad. He's going to say this, this, and this. Just watch. And I mean, it was literally clockwork.
Yeah.
Granted, he did have very nice things to say. He seemed proud of you, and you're doing what you're enjoying, and you're really doing well at it. But yeah, he had a card game to go to, man.
I'm gonna go down to Elks Lodge, and then right after we got off with him, I called Kane, and I go, Kane, we just called my dad. What do you think he said? And he goes, oh, he probably was like, I got a card game. I got to go fucking just like clockwork. My dad doesn't got anything else to do. He doesn't know how to use a computer, and he goes stir crazy. My stepmom passed away like 5 years ago, and he doesn't have hobbies really.
Cards?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to buy him a Google Chrome book so he could like surf the net maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, I was at his place and I opened up I have a MacBook, and so I open it up and I'm trying to explain to him like how the internet works. I go, Dad, just name anything. And he goes, I don't know, Mount St. Helens. So I type in Mount St. Helens, hit enter, pictures over here, video, all the fucking articles, and he's like, I don't get it. It was like the fucking chimps looking at the monolith thing in 2001, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, there goes that. I don't know, you know, he's getting a little stir crazy, I think, but yeah, he plays cards. That's his thing.
I mean, he's in his 80s, you know? He's just living his best life, I guess, right?
So, yeah, it's good old Pops, but yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, we've talked about the Game of Thrones. We're going to see Endgame while we're up here.
Endgame. Oh, by the way, just one quick thing for people. If you want to know what it's like to sit and watch Game of Thrones with Jay, he loves when they shoot arrows. And they don't do it all the time, but he does that all the time.
I'm like just waiting. Like I see somebody like waiting. They're standing too long, and I'm like, here it comes.
If someone is standing by themselves talking to like mass people, he's just like.
I'm like,
I don't even know how he does it.
I just fucking want the fucking arrows. I just can't wait. I love it.
So season 2 ended exactly how I wanted to, which was a huge war with lots of archery.
Yes, it was the best. We're gonna see Endgame Thursday.
Yes,
got our tickets, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jay Whitaker just posted he saw it already.
I saw that he's like 22 films, 11 years, one
great ending, or something like that. I was like, come on, Jay.
And we're gonna we'll talk about it on the next one. We'll do a review of it. I would say, do you have anything you want to plug? Other than our shows at Laugh Lines, I know what you want to plug. Go ahead, do your plugs.
My plugs?
Yes.
I'll let you do the shows. Obviously, San Diego Comedy Festival is coming up. It starts on May 9th and goes through the 18th because that's where we're headed after this.
Yep.
You're going to leave for a little bit because you got something going on in El Paso
Comic Strip
with Kane, and then I'm going to stay there and be there the whole time with the crew. And then obviously Big Pine Comedy Festival coming up in September. Submissions are still open until the end of May. I think it's like the maybe even going a little bit into to June. So please, if you haven't, submit to that.
Top 3 festival I've ever done in my life.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's it says a lot for how new we kind of still are with the festival. And it's going to be really good this year. And then the real Jack Galvin on Facebook, and it was really good, except for like there's the one headliner. I don't know his name. Big Irish. Yeah, I don't know. No, it was great last year. It's going to be even better this year. And then the real Jack Galvin on Instagram, Facebook. And that's my website too. So yeah.
And I'm at Big Irish J on everything. We'll be, if you're listening to this week, we're going to be at Laugh Lines New Westminster. Following weekend, we'll be at the Comic Strip in Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And then the weekend after that, I'll be at the Comic Strip in El Paso, Texas.
Yes.
That's crazy. Two comic strips in one.
Not owned by the same company either.
No.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for watching / listening, and talk to you next week. Bye.